Hello there. Come closer out of the dark and sit around my campfire, why not? My name is of no great importance, but the stories I have to tell you are. Witness 4 lost souls journeying together through a grim world of perilous adventure. Be warned, though, these stories are not for the faint-hearted, and once you have heard them, you cannot unheard them. Bear witness to the Vagabond Chronicles. Holy shit.
Gear it on up and let's play for a while. The young get on far behind. You can hedge your bet on a steel chariot. Zombies coming right on time. Now if you're ready to dive into overdrive, Ratty, the magic is on. It's like you're running away on some high octane. Every time you sing this song, won't you take a ride on heavy metal? It's the only way that you can survive down that road. Satisfied on heavy metal. Fight until they explode. Heavy metal. My oh my, how those birds can fly once they start swooping to cleave you. But you know you can't lose with the way she moves. Blues bow far enough to save you. It's not a big surprise to feel your temperature rise. You gotta get your killing on, 'cause there is just one cure that you know for sure. You just become a heavy metal believer. Won't you take a ride on heavy metal? Baby, won't you ride hard into the wall? Heavy metal.
Daddy.
Holy shit! Really?
Holy shit!
Hello there, and welcome back to another blinding episode of the Vagabond Chronicles. Holy shit! Don't tell my ex-wife. Did you like the
story
song,
there?
folks? Did you like the song? No, we're fine, we're amicable, we'll totally get along. She just never needs to know that the kid just said holy shit on live stream.
Neil getting his kids to swear.
It's really not. Hi folks, welcome back to the Vagabonds, and hello my Vagabonds. Happy New Year, my Vagabonds. How you all doing?
Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey,
Holidays
everybody.
and shit. Hi to the chat, hi to all our mods, huge mod love for the mods, and thank you everybody for tuning back in. We hope you're all well, we hope you had a good swell time. Can we still use the word swell? I feel like the word swell is now connotations with something that I'm not aware of, that we probably shouldn't use the word swell. Am I safe?
I do not have a
Explain what you
clue.
mean.
This is for the American in the room. Blue?
I think you're safe. I'll say you're safe. If you're using it, it's all context.
It's all context. Okay, so I hope you had a swell time. Good, which doesn't mean anything other than it should. Good, moving forwards. Welcome back. This is chapter 35, would you believe it, of the Vagabond Chronicles, and chapter 999 of the Lichemaster campaign that we've been doing for close to a year now. And the end, I promise you, my friends, is in sight. I promise you, it's getting close. This is the Vagabonds. I promise you, you won't have to deal with any of the skeletons for at least like a month. Or something like that. So going very quickly around the room, reintroductions, and also welcome to anybody that is joining us for the first time. Welcome. We're playing One Fantasy Roleplay. This is a game that's been going on for 6 or 7 years now with my friends, and we decided to start in lockdown and to broadcast it. So there's the similar characters, just an alternate universe version of the characters, if that makes sense. So going around the room, starting with their characters' initiatives, starting with the highest, which I now believe is in contest. Is that the halfling or the elf? I guess it's the halfling now, isn't it? Fucking use
I don't know. I don't.
I think the elf still takes it.
Elf still takes it?
Where's
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean,
Where's the numbers? Where's the
never
numbers?
trust
Are
a
the numbers
halfling,
here?
man. Never trust a halfling around donuts. That's what my mum used to tell me. So starting with the elf, definitely not on the shelf. Played Delamere, played by our wonderful Blue. Hey,
No,
Blue.
wait. No, I've got 73.
Okay,
I'm
it's too
not
late, man.
taking
Too
it.
late.
Oh!
Move aside, Toby. Move aside. Okay, so Blue.
Next time.
Next time,
Okay, I'll go quick. Yeah, hi. My name's Blue. I play Del. She is a wood elf rogue, and it's me and my trusty steed, who is actually a dog. It's a dog steed. Fleck. Yeah. Hello.
Hello there. Cool. Next around the room, begrudgingly, is the worst thief in the whole of the old world. I want to say
Wow.
Jerry Pete.
Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Right, Jerry and the Pacemakers. No, played by Pete. Hi, Pete.
Good morning. Welcome back to my first proper session.
Yeah,
Ian.
man. Welcome back.
Yeah.
And by
Yeah.
the way, did
Welcome
everybody
back,
like the
Pete.
special we did yesterday? What was that
Yes.
about? Fucking great, you know?
You call him the worst thief.
It was
Is
brilliant.
Neil, is there a way for people to check out the special if they missed it?
Yeah, definitely.
Is
It's on the VOD on VOD. like I could get money for it. It's on the playback stuff on Twitch, whatever that's called. So you can literally just go to the videos on this channel and you'll see it was from yesterday. If you want to watch it, it's the origin. It's sort of like an Origin Time story, backstory of what happened to Pete when everybody thought he was dead like 6 months ago, and actually he's not dead. He's just been inconvenienced. So if you want to check it out,
Neil,
yeah.
we got a message through from Jim just saying that you're really quiet.
Am I?
You're sounding
Am I
quiet
though?
on-
Am I quiet? I never trust his audio.
You're not quite to us, but
Chat, am
I
I
don't
quiet
know.
or is Jim just pulling my leg? Pretty sure Jim's pulling my leg.
Chat, are we quiet?
Are we
I haven't
quiet?
seen anybody in chat say it.
Are we quiet? Are we quiet? All right. So I'm gonna just try and pump myself up a little bit. Whoops. How about that? Is that too much?
Okay.
Whoa! Fuck me. Okay, let's split the difference. How about this? 84 years. How about that, folks?
What's
Is
chat
that better?
saying? What's chat
Come on,
saying?
Chad.
Maybe,
Talk to me, Chad. Talk to me. All right, we're fine.
maybe
All right. Thanks, Jim, for that use. Even though he's not in the game currently, he still manages to throw a monkey wrench into the system. It's extraordinary. Jim,
Chat says we're perfect. Chat says we're perfect.
Jim,
so.
you are a
He's
wonder.
like the ghost of trouble.
He's
Jim is IT,
he's the
causes
patron
problems.
saint of over-engineering. Thank you, Jim, for that. So next up in our order of succession, I guess, do we do Pete? It seemed like such a brief thing.
do his thing.
Next up.
Yeah,
Next
it's all right.
Do we actually do we get to? I interrupted, didn't I? I feel I interrupted. Teddy Wheatpasture played by Pete. Just go real quick, man.
There we go. You've done it. What else is there to say? I'm a cunning little halfling rogue who is out for nothing but himself and keeps ending up with these vagabonds.
Yeah, somehow they just keep crawling back, don't you, Pete? All right, next up in the order of succession is our hedge wizard, Ratty Veritatty. Rattigan, was it Rattigan P? No, Elias P. Rattigan. The P is
That's
short
correct.
for P, we think.
P short for P.
Played
Yeah,
short
as in,
for P.
as in the vegetable.
Yeah, exactly.
He really likes peas.
He really likes peas. His mother liked peas. This is played, of course, by the inimitable Tom DeVille. Hi, Tom.
Hello, hi, hello everybody. Yes, I play Rattigan. He's a wizard. It's kind of a hedge wizard is a kind of wizard who figures it out as they go along, but can use all kinds of different spells from all the different types of magic. I've got a couple of pet ferrets who help me with my magic, who are called Noodle and Mr. Spidge. And that is all you really need to know right now.
Yeah,
There you go.
there's lots of other stuff to that character we'll find as we go along. Lastly, but not leastly, is our newest vagabond, who is actually, in fact, a tarred and feathered skaven who's now found knighthood as like an obsessive hobby. And is now is the wonderfully talented and actually quite capable Ratman Quint, played by Clem. What's up, Clem Dodds?
Ah, yeah, well, Quint, yes. What's there to say about him apart from him being compoundly mentally damaged?
Yes.
Well, as the introduction suggests, he was a skaven who, basically found, whilst keeping slaves, was taught about chivalry. So he tries to be as noble as
Is that
possible, but
chivalry
he's
that just said
As a
very
Ratman.
badly, really
Mangled,
badly, yeah.
Chivalry. So when he got tarred and feathered and he lost all his fur, he thought he was on his path, basically.
It sounded like you said chivalry there.
Yeah,
for
he
a
does.
second.
It could be.
What are we saying?
Where are we going with this? Exactly.
Great. All right, folks. Well, that's the fucking vagabonds. And I think we should just pop ourselves back into the situation that we were in last time. Bam, folks. So if you cast your minds back, they are on the hunt for a magical item that apparently, or magical items, that apparently will save the day at La Maison Tower, which is currently about to be bombarded by the skeleton army that has been cutting a swathe through the Frugalhorn Valley, which is this thing here. This is a village of Frugalhofen, which no longer exists. This was a rapid waterfall where they met Quint. This all takes place in the Grey Mountains, somewhere around here, at the base of the Southlands, the Border Princes, the Britannia Border Princes, and the Empire. Our heroes are also kind of fugitives, sort of, being somehow wrapped up in the hunt for the killers of Sinterklaas, and they've made quite a lot of enemies and friends along the way. But let's dive back into it, and we'll acquaint ourselves with people that you may or may not know as we go. So the last thing that happened, I believe, was Teddy making a dramatic appearance, shooting one of our other vagabonds in the back of the head, or the back of the shield, I guess. And then you staggered forward, Tom, because you were so surprised to see your old friend, completely forgetting the conversation 2 minutes before about this being a trapped walkway and that only one person at a time should be on it, when you staggered forward and collapsed the entire thing. You and Blue have landed into a pit about 10 feet below where you were standing, and as you sort of come to your senses, you just heard this sound as you surrounded by about half a dozen
rather irate vipers. And that's where we're going to pick it up, folks. So initiative order, Blue, you have the initiative.
Nope. Am I? Oh, is it me?
I'm going to say you have the initiative just to piss Pete off. Actually, you know what? Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. I think Pete actually has the initiative. So let's do
It
this
had to be Pete.
It had to be Pete. So let's do Pete here. Pete, what is your initiative, man?
73 currently.
Fuck me. Well, I guess there's anything going for you. All right, so that's Teddy. Sorry about that last comment. It was uncalled for. Accurate, but uncalled for. Okay, so Teddy is the king of the castle with 73. It's your initiative, sir.
I'm just going to look down and go, what the bloody hell are you doing? Ray, get out of there! And I've got a rope and a hook, and I'm going to throw the rope down and keep a hold of them. And try and hook it onto something on this side. Yeah.
You find you sort of give a good kick to something which you think is reasonably sturdy, and then you just drop it down unceremoniously into the hole. Del, you're on your ass, surrounded by a bunch of vipers. The doggo is now barking furiously at the snakes, but is quite terrified. Seemingly he has what is the serpent phobia term? What is it called when you're afraid of snakes?
Pediophobia.
Thank you. You live in Australia. You would know that because there's 90% of the world's most dangerous animals. That's why I'm not coming for a visit anytime soon, Pete. Because fuck that. We'll meet up in New Zealand. It's going to be great.
Look, I've only seen a few snakes around.
You had a huntsman spider hanging out in your fucking house recently.
Yeah, man, that was a big dark spider.
Yeah, and they're pretty fucking dangerous as well. So, you know.
No, they're not dangerous at all.
Are they not?
But,
okay.
No, they just move really fast.
Oh,
they eat redbacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, redbacks do, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, fair enough. So, Del, you're on your ass. You're surrounded by vipers. You don't know what a viper is. They're just like long green, very nippy, like hissy, very angry-looking snakes. So you know it's a snake. You don't know what type of snake it is because you're not really that au fait with snakes. But yeah, you're surrounded by them. What are you going to do? You're literally where you are right now, having collapsed this wooden sort of like platforms collapsed, and you're just sitting there with all these snakes around you.
I can see the rope that he dropped.
Yeah, it's on the other side, right next to where Teddy is, which is over here.
How far away is it?
It's the space of a room, so it's a good like it's about 2-3 yards across, and then 2-3 yards up the rope. You can elbow Ratty out the way. We'll allow that.
Well, no. But if it's my turn, I would like to stand up and help Ratty up.
Okay, sure.
I'm assuming he's also.
Yeah.
If Del looks like that's her intention, I'll yell to her, "Don't worry about me. I've got my own way out."
Oh my god, his flight of Vagabond. He's going to be bouncing like a fucking pinball off all the walls. Okay, fair enough. So he says that to you, Blue. What's Del going to do?
I go, okay, I trust him.
I tried.
I did the least amount of effort possible, but all right.
Okay,
yeah, I'd like to try and make my way to the rope. I do have scale climb as a skill.
Yeah, you can climb that without any problem at all. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to kind of scamper my way up the rope. If
how are you moving? And I'm not going to give you any like advice on that, but how are you moving towards the rope?
Very carefully.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I grew up in the forest, in the woods. I would know snakes, and they don't typically want to attack unless they're being really kind of fucked with. So I'm not fucking with no snakes if I don't have to. That's just a personal motto of mine.
You're pretty sure one of the snakes has got like a gold fang as well and is looking at you really weird. So these are like mean snakes, man.
Yeah, I'm really just carefully kind of making my way, giving them a wide berth as much as possible, and then making my way to the rope and hauling myself up.
Yeah, you can do. I'm not even going to make your initiative because you have animal handling. Like you said, you grew up in the forest. You don't know what type of snake this is, but you do know snakes, so that's fair enough. So you very carefully get to the rope and very gently turn around, not facing the snakes, and very cautiously, slowly make your way up the rope. And you sort of like clamber up and you turn around with a phew. Now you're standing in this kind of musty room. You also get the first impression of this halfling that shot you in the back. And he's like a 4 foot nothing. His cloak is almost as big as he is. It comes down to pretty much where his hairy feet are. In fact, Pete, you can describe yourself because I'm sort of being very rude. You should
that's exactly right. Yeah. Just to say, short brown hair, a couple of scars on his face,
beady eyes,
very non-beady eyes,
criminal disposition.
Yes, the look of distrust oozing out of every pore. Possibly a wart on his nose, something like
A
that.
look of fear always on his face.
Yeah, he looks like he's constantly looking around for the exit. Do you know what I mean? He's one of those people. Like, can't really sit. He's fidgeting a lot. So that's
Yes,
him.
very, very fidgety.
Okay. So you sort of come like chest to head with him, if that makes sense, as opposed to nose, because you're a good foot taller than he is. And yes, you're sort of staring down at him.
Hello, Lady Elf. What are you doing here then?
At first, I want to touch where he shot me and just say, "Nice shot."
Yeah, there's a little dent in the shield. There's like a little like bullet print of in the shield.
Oh,
where
thank
he hit
you. That's from the Orb Weaver. You might have seen one of these before. What very beautiful specialist tool.
He throwbacks his cloak and starts flexing in these weird positions, showing the Orb Weaver in his firing positions. He looks a little ridiculous, but you kind of suspect in his mind he's looking amazing.
Well, very nice to meet you. I'd like to get my friends over here if possible. Radigan, are you okay?
I'm just drawing you. I'm just drawing you one of the poses he's pulling with his little Orb Weaver there. See that?
Wait, I got two heads. What?
No, that's the Orb Weaver. That's his head, and he's doing like a flash dance, kind of like stance, and here's the Orb Weaver just laying his hand.
Ah, gotcha.
So
That's. I like it.
Oh, Teddy flexing away.
He's flexing
I miss
away.
Teddy so much.
Yeah, and he's not even breaking his conversations. Whatever he's saying to you, he just starts flexing, and he's continually flexing, even though it's clear that you're not interested in him in any way, shape, or form. Okay, next up is Ratty, or is that Klim next? I can't remember.
I think it's
Klim.
Ratigan.
No, it's Klim next. It's actually Klim.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got Blue's characters on the other side and looking functional.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I need to.
The dog is next to
Okay.
you, by the way. The dog's like barking loads, but it's all bark and no jumping down to help anybody.
Right, cool. I'm going to get out my rope. I'm going to start coiling it and throwing it in the direction of Ratigan because I don't know exactly what he's planning.
Okay, so you sort of throw it. You don't have to make a ballistic skill test. You sort of you loop it to something like the frame of whatever's left from the bridge, which is pretty sturdy, and you just throw it in his direction. It sort of lands reasonably close to him. So now there's two ropes, like one here and one over there as well. So you know effectively you guys and girls and everything in between, the dog, etc., and the chicken, you can all sort of get in and out of this pit. However, to get into the other room, you're going to have to get into the pit. If that makes sense.
With the snakes?
Yeah. I do have an issue with... Does a rat have an issue with snakes?
No, I'm just thinking that I would know of snakes, but so I'm formulating a plan relating to the snakes, because transit's going to be difficult, because they're very bitey.
Yeah, they're pretty bitey.
Yeah. No, I'm thinking up an idea, but for this round, for this time, I'm just putting the rope down.
Okay. So that's what you
Cool.
do. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Next up, I guess, the snakes. What the snakes are doing. So the snakes are sort of like standing forwards. One of them over here on the left-hand side. Suddenly, when you drop down the rope, it suddenly stops, and it starts doing this weird, like coiling movement, and then it slowly starts getting closer to the rope, and then it does this thing which starts rubbing the back of it against the rope, and starts rubbing its head, and then starts like kind of like licking it, and then just like and then it just curls around it, and you see its eyes go. Like that, and it's now looped at the end of the rope. The snake.
Right, yeah, okay, so snake porn. Excellent, right.
Is the snake mating with the rope?
No, that's ridiculous. The snake is engaging in flirtation with the rope, hoping to mate the rope. The rope is not easy, man. The rope is not that easy, Tom, you know? I've got some snakes here. Okay.
Good for the rope.
Good for the rope, right?
Yeah.
Good for the rope. Yeah, you look after yourself there, Ropey.
That rope is no whore. Wow.
Right.
Okay, so what's up next?
I'm guessing it's me, huh?
I think
So
so.
can I have a go? Come on.
Yeah, you can have a go.
You know what it's going to be, don't you, Neil? You guessed it already.
Yeah. Oh my god, you're still doing this. I love the fact you're doing this.
Of course I am.
All right, do it.
Look, it's a tool I've got in my amazing toolkit. Okay, so all right, so quick as a flash, I mutter the word Amar to Mr. Spidge,
Yeah.
who runs down to one of my pockets, grabs a little tuft of eiderdown, brings it into my hand. At what point I raise my hand and then slam it down against the floor, going, "Oh, get out of it, you bastard!" And at that point, I take off.
Okay, cool.
But as usual, I've forgotten how we figured that. Is it a D12?
It's a D12, and then it's a D8 for height. And as usual, you haven't like sorted yourself out in terms of orientation. So immediately your feet are the first things that start lifting up, which means you're upside down again and start lifting into the air in a random direction. So roll a D12 for the direction.
That just feels like you as the DM have just created that situation.
That's just pure paranoia, Tom. I don't think anything weird or suspicious about me telling you you're upside down with your feet and arse in the air. I think it's weird.
That flight of a mar now. Like I've had quite a few flights in my time.
That's how you do it. Because you think that's how you're supposed to do it. You haven't had any formal training. As far as you know, you're supposed to learn by the feet.
Here, this purple one.
Yeah, it's a purple one. You don't know. You're not licensed with it.
Okay, I thought I'd selected it, but hang on, rolling. Okay, here we go. 6.
Okay, that means you're going backwards. Your character's orientation, let's assume, is how you're orientated. So you're going to go this direction backwards towards Quint and also the dog and Doggo. So now you need to roll, is it a D6 or 2D6? 2D6, right?
Yeah.
You don't know. Yeah, you should really look at the thing. You might be on your character sheet, maybe. So
I think it's
D4. No, it's D4, isn't it? For height.
Yeah, it's not that high.
2D4. Let's say 2D4 because I'm pretty sure it's something like 8 yards maximum in the air. So let's try that. So 2D4.
Okay, I'm going to just roll this twice then.
Yeah. So that's a 3 and that's a 4. 7 yards. So basically,
I'm going to get him in the face, aren't I?
You basically just lift up and rock back. And you just like slam into the ceiling and start bouncing around the top of the room, like boing, boing. And then you're sort of drifting, you're gradually drifting towards where Quint is. In fact, actually roll a d6 because that's how it's a 3-dimensional thing. So we need to see how far back you go as well. So just roll a d6 for me, please. Very quick.
Hang on.
Yeah. 6. Okay. So basically, you're going to float to just above the doorway where the Doggo and Quint are, and you're just sort of floating there, like hello, like that. You're floating above their heads. Basically. In fact, I'm going to try and stack you. There we are. I've stacked you on the dog. And Mabel the chicken is on your head. And
all right.
on
I'm
the
going to take the magic points off.
Cool. Alrighty. And this snake is deeply enthralled by the rope. And is really like getting, I want to say chummy with it. The other snakes are sort of doing snaky things like, talking about snake politics and like gossiping about other snakes and shedding skin. And this one's like doing a facial on this one because its skin is getting a bit scaly.
I was going to say, like in films and stuff where there's a pit of snakes.
Yeah.
What are the snakes doing all the time when there's no one to attack? Are they just hanging out in there?
I'm revealing that, man.
Starving.
I'm answering your question by showing you the intimate, private lives of a bunch of snakes. That's what's happening right now.
I like the idea that they're talking politics.
Yeah, these two are, but nobody else wants to join them because they get bored by it.
It's like Raiders, isn't it? What were all those snakes doing down in that pit?
Those snakes were having a great time until Indiana fucking Jones comes and screws it all up and sets fire to them. It's like, we live here. This is our house.
Statues on them.
Yeah, man. It's like,
party.
you drop our statues, by the way, which are worth quite a lot of money, thank you very much, and then you burn our fucking house down for no reason. We're not trying to bite you. We're just a bunch of snakes. Indiana bloody Jones. Honestly, man's a retrobate. Anyway, so moving forward, back to these two cats in the room. So you both watch Ratty sort of float around aimlessly like a sycamore leaf in the wind, and just bounces around like a pinball on the top of the roof, and is gradually going towards the doorway on the other side. So he's pretty safe.
He's still doing that then, is he? Jesus, doesn't get any better, does it?
Okay. What are you two gonna do?
Oh, me and Del.
Yeah.
I'm
just watching the show. This is what's happening.
Well, Del, I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, Peter, I'm just going
Is that your dog and chicken?
just going to update Del on where she is. So this is the sort of main room, kind of like a main office. You look around, and in one quick glance, you sort of get the state of it. It's a well-furnished room with a writing desk over here. There's a swivel chair made from some kind of weird bone that you can't quite identify, but it looks really unusual and strange.
It's reinforced with iron bands. It's a large leather armchair, and there's a pair of fine tapestries worked with alchemical and mystical symbols. And the most prominent thing in the room, there's two things actually. One, do you remember that suit of armor? There was a suit of armor over here that you got very wary of. Okay, in this room over there, if you seem to remember. For some reason I forgot to mention that. There should be a suit of armor in this room. On the table here, there's a large black chest in the middle. It's a small black coffer. It's not massive. So you could pick it up and carry it in maybe one person, if strong, or two people, if they're not that strong, could carry it. It's a writing desk covered with dusty papers. There's a whole bunch of stuff thrown around. There's a leatherback notebook. There's also a small brass key, and on top of the desk as well. And around the room, there's the usual sort of paraphernalia of library and books and things like that. There's a mold. There's like a sandwich that's been molding for God knows how many decades in one corner of the room.
Not mine.
And some wine and brandy in like a little like one of those drinks trolleys things. And that's kind of about it. It looks very much like a private study for one person. Like a retreat away from the world. And there's also a table over here which has a whole bunch of paraphernalia, glass bottles and pewter dish, pewter, pestle and mortar, things like that of that nature, which you don't know anything about, so you don't really know what it's for. It looks like a kitchen almost, but it's just like freestanding and in the end of the room, which is a bit weird. That's about it, really. Yeah.
Is there an exit like around that I see, or is the only exit the way we came?
The only way in and out seems to be this door. There's no windows. You're underground anyway. There's no windows and no other door in this room. And there's also doesn't seem to be any way you could hide a door. You're not even a fireplace or anything.
Is there a lock on the chest?
Do you want to have a look at it?
I want to have a look at it.
Okay, so physically the box is about 24 inches, 18 inches, 12 inches, that kind of dimension. It's made of black wood with silver and iron bands. It's marked with these bizarre sigils and runes. And there's also a symbol which you're not familiar with, which is it looks a little bit like this. I'll try and draw it for you if I can.
Have I seen this symbol before?
You have not. No, it's like that.
Okay.
It looks like this. It's drawn on several sides of the... It's the most prominent symbol, and it's drawn on several sides of the box. Yeah. This is the only person that can see this is Del. Okay?
I know.
Yeah. For no reason whatsoever. Okay, so Blue, what do you want to do?
Well, you said I could pick it up, right?
You think you can. What's your strength?
My strength is 4.
Yeah, you can pick it up. You can actually pick it up alone. You could wrap ropes around it and maybe make a little fashion some kind of... Do you know what I mean? Like make a kind of sling somehow around the box and then try and hoik it on your back a little bit. You couldn't attach it to like a backpack or anything.
Well, I guess...
Myself, what are you doing, my stuff?
Yeah, he just pipes up with a dagger in your back.
Do you want to leave that alone right now, or are you offering to carry it for me? Because in that case, I'd really appreciate that.
Happy to carry it for you.
Yeah, P, are you doing anything else? You do have kind of simultaneous initiative, more or less.
You've granted me that now, have you? Simultaneous.
Well, I just wanted to establish the room, dude. But yeah, that's cool.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna obviously eye her warily, yes, to understand what she's doing with the, I assume, the thing I'm here for.
Okay. Cool.
And yes, so but obviously it's a bit too heavy for me to carry, so I'm of that mind that someone else can carry it. I'm quite happy for that to happen.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Because I still feel like I'm in control of the situation, but I know I'm not.
Teddy's
saying to the elf, you carry it.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Teddy, so young and so naive still. Okay, cool. So now I see if I can rest the cabinet on your head model. Yes, I did it. I'm amazing. Okay, great. So now you have the cabinet on your back. Wow, this worked out so much better than I thought. Okay, so now you're carrying the cabinet, and Teddy is sort of like doing a after you motion into the pit of snakes. Cool, that's your goes, I guess. Teddy, are you going first, or are you waiting for her to descend into the pit of snakes first?
Oh, no, I'll let ladies first, of course.
Okay, sure. All right. So, yeah, so ladies, the most patronising manner you can possibly come up with.
Are we sure this is a good idea?
Well, yeah, let's get
It is
to
a
that.
bit of snakes.
Quint, it's actually your go. The canoodling snake and rope down there seem to be doing something which on this channel is a mature channel. I just don't think we should go there. So you're sort of like averting.
I can clean that up later. That's fine.
You're averting your eyes to the snake that is besmirching your rope's honour. And you sort of notice that Ratty is still like hanging on to the top of the doorway. I don't know if he looks like he's going to swing in or something like that, but he's still floating around at the top there. And the doggo is sort of now watching Ratty and is sort of like doing the equivalent of a doggy clap. Like, he's really like entertained by this. What do you want to do?
Dude, you don't spend much time with dogs. That was a
Not at
scene.
all. I don't own a dog. I want to own a dog, but I don't. This is true. I don't have dogs. Which is why I always touch random strangers' dogs inappropriately for a long period of time, as if I own them. Like it's my dog. Like I'm petting my dog. To the point where owners kind of look at me like, that's my dog, fuck off. And it's like, no, it's my dog. Fuck off.
Yes.
Yeah, so I do that a lot. I want a dog so badly. Okay, so Quint, what are you going to do, sir?
Right. What are the chances of me being able to grab hold of the door to brace myself against it, putting my foot against the door as well, so effectively it doesn't either open or shut. So basically, I've got an anchor point.
Grab hold
of the wizard's ankle.
You're trying to throw him around.
Pull him in.
Oh right, pull him in.
What?
Okay. I think you're trying to like stop him from coming in as a joke or something like that. Like, see how long you can last up there, buddy. Yeah. Well, I mean, he looked
Back in the snakes.
back in the snakes with you. Bloody turncoat.
You've got animal care, you'll be fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is, you can try that. I mean, weirdly, Ratty seems very serene and calm, floating in the air. Like, he's quite au fait with floating around like a drunk butterfly. Do you know what I mean? It's like he doesn't seem like he's
moving
panicking.
around in 0G.
Yeah, it's basically like he's moving around in 0G, but not paying attention to any handholds particularly. He's just sort of floating around a bit. He does
The flight doesn't worry me, Neil. The landing does.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure, you don't know how this works.
And actually, you know, I wouldn't mind a hand down.
Okay.
If you're...
So
Yeah, I'm just going to sort of steer the balloon that currently is Ratigan.
Okay. Okay. So you offer out your clammy, pale, hairless, slightly razor-sharp
Nothing but
talons,
compliments, man.
hand or paw, I guess. You offer your paw out to him, and you sort of try and grab at him to try and help him pull him in. Tom, it's up to you if you allow that or not, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was about to say, you know, because my turn is last, I would have actually stuck the hand out and said, you know, if anyone wants to give me a hand down, that would actually be quite helpful.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I'm basically going to work with him because, you know, I'm mostly conscious of not wanting to float back into the snakes.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. So you sort of get grabbed and you allow yourself to get pulled in. You land on the floor. And then you start floating a little bit again, like thank you, and you start floating off this, sort of like thank you, and you start floating off this way into the room a little bit, but your feet are kind of like only like a few inches off the ground, but you are sort of starting to float again because it's sort of the same round, so you know.
Exactly. Like I don't think the spell can be brought to an end.
No, it just ends. You can extend it, but you can't stop it.
So control me like a balloon, like tie a rope around me and just kind of.
The rope is otherwise engaged.
The rope is busy right now.
The rope is getting it on, my friend, right now. So leave the rope. Don't be a rope blocker.
You know, like for my robe, because it's a bath robe that I've got for wizard robe.
Yeah.
You know the long tie bits that come down, you know, around
little
your
hooks
middle.
and things, yeah.
Yeah, the long sort of the belt.
Yeah,
the belt of the robe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of could be dangling down. So, you know, Quint could grab hold of that.
And just spin you around.
Nothing else. No, not swing me around, Neil. No. Just hold on to me like a balloon.
All right.
You know.
Okay.
Why do two words fleck fetch just spring into my mind? I'm not going to say them.
All right, so you're sort of doing that. That's great. Back to the snakes. These two have now drawn in a third snake into their political conversation, and this third snake is one of those. He's a Vaga supporter, like, you know, Vipers again, great again, kind of stuff. And he's now entered into a very heated, hissing match with these two seemingly politically aligned Vipers about whatever they're talking about. And the two of them are now starting to like round on this Viper, and they're getting pretty pissed off with the Viper. They're not really listening to the Viper, but then the middle Viper's not really helping himself. Do you know what I mean? one of those ones. This viper has ended its coitus and is now slithering off. You do notice, anybody that cares to look, there's a cigarette inexplicably lit and now in the mouth of the viper. And at one point it stops, turns around, flicks the cigarette ash out of its mouth, and just sort of gives the rope a wink, and then just turns around as if to say, sure, I'll call you, and then just slithers off towards the other rope.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, just because
that kind of snake. Okay.
Yeah, he's a snake, man. I did say that from the beginning. He's a viper, bastard. All right. So that's what's going on at the moment. Teddy and I can't believe we're drawing this out. It's amazing. Teddy and
this Twitch broadcast has established that vipers will.
God. Very weird.
Vipers are just basically bastards that won't ever call you back. So here's the motto, folks. Don't ever sleep with a viper. Don't sleep with a snake. Just don't do it. They'll never call you. They won't respect you, and they won't call you back.
That's very good advice.
Neil actually sounds like he's had personal experience.
It was a pale albino python, but yes.
Don't do that, Neil. They'll draw pictures.
Bob the python never called me back. What can I say? I'm not bitter. All right. So next up is Teddy. I believe I'm going to give you back your initiative order. So Teddy, you're up first. You can just watch Del go down into the pit of snakes that nobody is helping her deal with a box on her back. Unless
the snakes seem pretty content in their political discussions that we can just saunter on across without getting disturbed, right?
You are making the snake sound fairly preoccupied right now.
They're pretty preoccupied, apart from this sexy snake who's just he's feeling great about himself, who's now wandering towards this rope.
Well, if he's like most guys when they finish, he's just going to be off and probably going to have a little sleep now.
He probably will actually. Yeah, that was my ace in the hole. Yeah, he's probably going to have a little sleep. Blue, it is your turn, darling. What's he up to?
I guess making my way downtown, watching for snakes. Yeah, I mean, I'm
I'll support her on the way down. Oh no!
Yeah,
chaos.
we know what happens. We know what happens when you jump on people's heads, Pete. Don't make a habit of it.
Oh.
All right. So
it's
okay. I'm going to balance you on the box now if you really need to. Ah, damn it! Can't do it. All right. So sorry. Ignore me. Carry on. So Blue, you're going to now. There are still more snakes around, and this arsehole snake has actually fallen asleep and is curled up right in the middle of the path that you need to go through. So you are going to have to make an initiative test to sort of gingerly step over it, because there's not really enough room with a box on your back that's pretty heavy to maneuver around it.
Okay. Let's see.
So I'm going to go down to help support Anil as well. So
yeah, fair enough. So you're sort of...
She looks like she's going to fall.
None of us have anything practical, like a sort of Molotov or something.
No, right?
No, I guess
yeah, but also, we're in a very small corridor with only one exit, and there's a huge amount of wood at the bottom. I mean, how do you like your bonfires?
That's a very good point. Again, I said that.
Oh, you're such the voice of reason. Where's Jim when we need him?
And did I also mention we're next to a very flammable library as well?
Only one exit. Okay, so Blue, do you want to roll your initiative, please?
I just did it. It's a 37.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. So you easily sort of gingerly step over it, and inexplicably you have this instinct to just call the snake a bastard, and you don't know why, just to lay into the snake for its life choices, but you don't.
Come on.
You quell the desire, and you're fine. But for some, you don't know why, just this urge to just scream, "You complete bastard!"
Right.
This is quite the narrative, isn't it?
I'm having that feeling right now, Neil. No, okay. Making my way.
Making your way. All right, cool. So you get to the other side. Again, still nobody is helping you, not even the halfling. He's just he's there for moral support, seemingly, but nobody is helping you.
No, I got this shit.
Sure, you don't need help. All right, wicked. So you start, climbing up reasonably slowly with this fucking enormous weight on your back. And you manage to crawl into the room what the fuck? Where the fuck?
I like to think that the dog helps me. The dog sees what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. The dog puts his teeth on your lapel of your jacket and just gives you a little tug and starts stepping backwards and trying to pull you up as well. So the dog helps, yeah, for sure. The dog helps. Best boy. Cool. Okay, and you're up into the room. All right, folks. We sort of get out now that these snakes have been quote unquote dealt with. we've dealt with something.
Generally avoided.
Yeah, you can all fall into sort of narrative now, so there's no real order. So you can talk amongst yourselves and work out what you're going to do.
Right, if you don't mind, my lady, I need to clean off my rope.
I don't question it.
Teddy, take off your rope from your equipment unless you want to go alone down into the pit of snakes to get your rope back, which I'll allow.
No.
I will allow that. Okay.
No snakes.
All right, cool. So you take off the rope from and grappling hook or whatever it is that you use to secure it if you had a grappling hook. Okay. Cool. Carry on, folks. So it's over to you lot.
What are you guys doing here then? Let's debrief because I'm here for this box. What are you guys doing here?
I reckon we might also be here for that box. Weirdly enough,
I got to get this box somewhere.
we got to get that box somewhere too. So, how far are you got to get the box?
I got to get it all the way back to Grunier.
Well, look, we got to get the box just upstairs. So how about we do that one first, and then we get it to Grunier later? How about that?
Ratty, you are always the most intelligent of us.
Ratty actually laughs in his face.
But you do one of those laughs where you have like no social conscience of how loud you are. You just go ha 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 like that.
And then I look at Quint and go, he's right, you know.
My lady, what's that symbol on the box? May I look at it?
Yeah, I step away.
Okay, everybody make an initiative test apart from Quint, please. And Quint, you don't need to make an intelligence test. You know exactly what that is.
I know exactly what that is.
So, but everybody else,
intelligence or initiative?
Initiative test.
Initiative.
Yep.
I got dice.
23. Who is that? That was
me. That's Del.
That's a pass. Okay.
I passed.
You passed to 63. I think it's past you. Tom?
Hang on. Sorry. For some reason...
68 is a failure, right?
Yeah, that's a fail.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Tom, although you're going to hear this, your character does not know this. So, yeah, as he says that, you notice... I guess, Del, you've known him as long as Ratty has. So you notice that Quint, his nose is suddenly twitching like fury. And his hands, his claws are like clenching and unclenching. And his eyes are sort of like doing this thing where it's like looking for all exits. It's basically his instincts have gone berserk by the looks of it. He looks like a rat trapped in a corner kind of thing. Like he's starting to get real weird and real twitchy. And Teddy, you notice that. Teddy, obviously you just see this horribly ugly, disfigured human. You don't know anything about him, but he looks like really like fucked up. He's swathed in monk's robes and bandages, so he looks like he's really been through the mill, like survived an inferno or something. Poor bastard. He's also really weird. There's something really deformed and strange about this human. But you think he's a human at the moment, okay? But he's twitching like crazy. He's looking really weird and sort of like his eyes are darting. And he's sweating a lot. Quint, can you please make a cool test?
Okay. Right, where are the dice? There we are.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
What's your cool, by the way?
It is catastrophically low.
Excellent.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah.
It's 24.
Great. This is going to be really funny.
Oh.
That's worse than me.
45.
Okay, so without you sort of get completely overwhelmed by the sensation of what this thing is when you see it, and you know exactly what it is, and you know exactly what it does. You actually lose control, and you squirt the musk of fear. And
well, that's everybody blinded then.
Okay, everybody suddenly, like, from all of you just like seeing him, he just goes incredibly rigid and suddenly very still and half points towards the casket, and then just hear this and the whole room just erupts with this cloud of the worst smell you've smelt since the last time you sweated.
No.
You know exactly. This is the musketeer that you smelt before. It's really appalling. It's like, I don't know, like burnt hair on rancid beef that's been passed through a cow. It's really it's really upsetting and really unpleasant. Everybody please make a toughness test.
Oh.
I failed.
Okay, that's a fail.
Man, I should have done that with the snakes. That would have really worked, actually.
Yeah, you apparently not afraid of snakes. That's a failure as well. And Del,
Yeah,
you're
I
the last
fail.
person.
Hang on, I haven't done it yet. Okay,
Yeah.
here we go.
50?
50?
It's your
Yeah,
toughness.
50.
Toughness is
My
what?
toughness? 2?
Okay, so that's 20 you need to get. That's a failure by 30, which is a pretty big failure. Okay, everybody just immediately takes it, because there's nowhere for the air to go. This is like a tomb and a room within a tomb with no windows. The whole thing just gets completely stunk out. And all of you start retching and what? Feeling really ill. You all have a -5 to all of your characteristics, apart from strength, toughness, and wounds and attacks. But any percentile now has -5 as you all start feeling queasy. You've all been skunked, basically, and you all smell. You're really not feeling great. You feel pretty queasy, and this thing is taking its time. It's one of those lingering farts that just won't go. It seems to be trading around this.
I have got to find a way of weaponizing this.
Yeah. So, Quinn, you just squirted the musk of fear and have now skunked everybody in the room, who are now coughing and spluttering. Their eyes are watering. I guess the round is still yours. What do you want to do, Quint?
I would like.
Apologize, maybe.
Says Ratty, holding his nose.
I would like a little bit more information because
I
can't
would like to
explain to
apologise.
anybody because I don't know.
Okay, so this thing.
If I'm going to explain, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay,
I need to know.
Yes, it's fair enough because I did not plan on this. Because you're a new addition that is not originally. It's not originally supposed to be in this fucking campaign, man.
You picked my character, man.
No, I did. It's cool. Okay, so I'm going to give you something. Try and read that reasonably quickly, but don't read it out. You just make it your own words.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm
Criminy, okay.
Why we have a member of our party who can deal out farts that can actually reduce all our stats by 5.
It's pretty heavy, isn't it? Clem, as you're sort of trying to work out how best to tell the party what this thing is that you believe, you also notice that there is that the halfling in his belt has this rolled up parchment like a letter, and you see the writing on there, and you pick out a couple of words because it's sort of rolled outside in, so you can actually see the writing on the outside of it. That makes sense, and you pick out a couple of words from it. But you don't know what that is, but you sort of see he's clearly something he's just picked up in the other room. Just store that away, so FYI. Okay. Cool. Clem, so over to you, sir, if you're ready.
That is the Arca Chaotica. A very, very dangerous thing. That. Now let me get. I'm trying to remember. It's a very, very old story. Very, very old. I believe there were 2 devices, and they connect to each other. I think, but it's wrought of chaos. It stinks of chaos. Are you thinking of opening that thing? What plans do you have with it? It's very, very dangerous. Very dangerous.
I'm taking it to some guys back in Gruyere. I told you.
We needed it, Quint boy. You remember we got told by the priesty men upstairs that they needed it for keeping us safe. I think so.
Look, I've got some instructions here. Ray, you can read, right? Can you tell me how to bloody make this thing work?
I need to stop you there, my friend. I cannot read beyond the cat sat on the mat.
Which is a fantastic, riveting read that you are thoroughly enjoying, by the way.
Which is a real page turner, let me tell you.
Halfling. These people you're taking it to. Were they beast men?
No, they were. Well, I think it was a kiss of height.
So a man then?
Yes.
Like us, a man. But men cannot open this. Only skaven can open this.
Well, maybe they're going to destroy it then. I don't know. They just asked me to get it. Otherwise, I'd be.
Can I take a look at that scroll on your belt, as I can read?
If it's going to get me out of here, then sure.
Right, okay. I extend a hand to
A
take a look at
null,
the scroll.
slimy, sweaty, really creepily smooth, burnt paw. Sorry.
I was just waiting till you finished. Yes, I am.
Okay. So Clem, he hands you the parchment and shudders at your
What the
touch.
heck is wrong with you, avocado face?
Excellent. Pete can take over right
Fucking
after. Pete, you may enjoy everything that you're about to do. Okay, so he hands you the parchment and sort of shudders at your touch. You sort of unfurl it and you hold it up towards one of the lights. There's actually a candle. You notice that there's a candle here, which you didn't have any light sources really, did you? Or did you light something? I can't remember. Maybe you lit something. Okay.
We were not lighting something
that's right,
because
you
we didn't know who
weren't
were going
lighting
up.
it.
Who
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
going up against.
Well,
We do. There are torches around here because
Yeah.
we said there were torches around
Yes,
the place.
that's right. So you can light stuff now if you wish to. Like you take a little flint. You got like one of those flint boxes that is like a striker. So you just like click, like almost like a primitive lighter basically. So you do that on the candle like torch thing over here, which is next to this suit of armor, and you sort of light it and it flares up. As you do that, then something really amazing and cool happens. All of the torches that look identical around the room just go and they all light up. Ooh, magic.
It's a good thing I've already crapped myself.
You squirt.
I'm
and
empty,
nothing comes
boys.
out. Actually, Tom, can you please make a willpower test and just tell me discreetly the result in text in WhatsApp, please?
Sure.
Carry on, Clem.
Rightio, I don't see any reason to keep this quiet. So do you want me to read the whole thing?
Entirely
or,
up to you. Yeah, it's your thing. I'd preferably read it out loud so the listeners can enjoy it.
I'll do my level best. Okay, because it's quite a body of text.
Wow.
Research on the Iron Man. After all these conjurings, it appears from my researches that I need one of the infernal Ratmen devices to bring the construct to power. At present, it can only walk and stop at the ring bearer's directs. Great tasks are beyond it. So near, yet so far. Luigi is my only hope, though. He will charge me dearly for this. And what might the Ratmen do when they recover the stolen relic of this kind? I dare not think, but human magic cannot suffice to give my creation life. Only the damnable warpstone can provide sufficient power. Just one bolt from the infernal casket to make my metal child live. Then I shall find some way of destroying the Ratmen's obscenity and pray that I may be forgiven. Luigi has brought the box, as good as his word. It was claimed, but it cannot be opened. Curses and wretchedness. I do not know what to do now. How do the Ratmen seal these things? Perhaps a visit to Gudelheim is in Paravon is in order. Nothing yet has been able to delay him entry. Perhaps too I shall visit the Sawbones there for these chest pains which plague me of late. They say Guther Wenwick is too old to travel now, and in my present health I cannot face the journey up the mountain to his farm. I think the next bit is something different. I've got a Kremler. Wasn't that the name of the necromancer? Anyway, there's this bit here. Kremler. I dream again. The fiend is somewhere near. I'm convinced of it. Somewhere a past evil long buried calls out to him, draws him to it. This must not happen. Never again. I can trust young Jean Lewis, and his love of history will reserve well and disarm suspicion. The ancient bandits he spoke of provide an excellent pretext for searching the area, and there is enough money in the monastery coffers to hire enough searchers. Oh, that I had finished it 15 years ago. The tomb must be found, and quickly. Whatever calls out to Kremla must be destroyed, and plans must be laid against failure. When he finds it, he will surely come here. I must hide help here against that time. The ring of the Iron Man is one or two other trifles. I think maybe, my friends, the monks or a monk or two might be involved in this. This may be a trap. I'm not sure. That's all that's written.
Is that all?
I like to hear about him needing to go to the Sawbones. What was that all about? Had he got a funny tummy?
I'm just reading what's there, Ratigan.
Well, so there's a metal fella. This thing, it brings some sort of metal fella to life. Is that right?
What is in the corner, Ratigan?
The suit of armor. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. And everybody just goes, looks around like, where'd the music come from?
Armor a bit more closely.
Okay, sure. You approach the suit of armor, Ratigan.
Yeah.
Are you putting a paw out to touch it? I mean, it isn't actually moving; it's just standing there.
I'm not going to touch it. I just want to look at it first.
Okay.
Can we just look at things without touching them?
No, but you know what I mean. Like you can reach out through the force and that kind of touching, not like bad touching. Sorry, I mean
because that worked really well last time, didn't it, Tom?
Yeah, but you can sort of like hover your
I don't
hand
have
over it.
touching either. It's not one of my particular skills.
Don't you have like magic sense or anything like that?
No.
Oh, you don't have that. Ooh, interesting.
No.
Okay. I guess you're a bargain basement wizard. All right. So you sort of look at it, and it looks very much like a suit of armor. However, the suit of armor it's very unusual. I mean, you don't know much about armor, to be perfectly frank. But it looks like it's got a funny shape to it. It looks more like the features of an actual person, as opposed to what you recognize as like big plate heavy armor that you have seen occasionally on really cool looking adventurers. Gosh, you wish you could be in their adventuring party. Don't they look so cool? Those dudes. It looks like less heavy and more like it's really skin tight. Like you have a very small person inside the suit, because the actual figure looks kind of your height, and it looks like it's a person as opposed to a suit of armor around the person. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It looks like a big tin man.
It basically looks kind of like a massive tin man. You also notice that its hands are like
a tin man.
Yeah, basically. And it's like gauntlets are disproportionate to a hand. Like they're much bigger than they should be. And you also notice it's got this like these two little hammers. These little small hammers either side of it. They're also made out of the same material that it's made out of. And there doesn't seem to be like the visor itself seems to be completely solid. So it doesn't seem like you can wear it. Well, you could wear it, but there is holes to look out of it. But the holes don't seem particularly big or anything. Do you know what I mean? The eye slits. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So I turn around to the others and go, so, Quint, from what you read there,
Ratigan.
So that thing there, pointing at the chest, that makes alive this thing. Why did it? Why? So, and then this thing, I don't know. Could it help us fight all the skellies?
I am unsure, Ratigan, but what I do know from the note is that the necromancer wants it, and also wants anyone who can open that chest.
Well, you know something, guys. I might have found something. And I've just produced the ring.
Okay. He brings out a small jet black, made of iron or something, metal, a very unassuming ring, in his hand, holding up to the group in his hand.
I think this might have something to do with this iron fella.
It's a good thing it's a good thing I'm empty.
Okay.
Okay. Characters who know my secret. I'm really in your hands because I don't know. I mean, my character will generally not give away the fact that he's a skaven. He's a rat man. You know, because it flies against everything that it has kept him safe up to this point. So I can't roleplay against that. I'm sorry.
Reasonably sane as well.
Yeah.
So Blue, what does your character do? What's your character doing throughout all this?
I mean, I'm processing everything that was. But yeah, can I also look at the suit of armor? And I feel like because we're trying to explain to Pete that he's what he is, right? Or to Teddy, right?
Yeah, you're sort of dancing around that a little bit.
I feel like Ratigan is the best person because he actually, I don't know, I just met this guy and he shot me.
Right. Well, maybe you shoot him back and that makes you...
I mean, that's coming. That comes later.
Sorry about the shot that ended up in your ass, buddy.
Okay, so, I mean, looking at Ratigan and kind of giving, like, a head nod tilt, you know, like skavens, huh? Only skavens can open this? Interesting. Ratigan, isn't that interesting?
Lay it on pretty thick there, Blue.
What a pity we don't have any. Oh, yeah. Right. So look. So I'm gonna turn to I'm going to turn to Quint and I go, Quint, mate, right? It seems we got both parts of what we need, right? And the third thing we need, and I'm going to go over and I whisper it to him and I go,
Whispering so low, none of us can hear you, including the audience.
Yeah, the microphone probably won't pick it up. I whispered,
just do it, Jack Bauer whisper. You're a skaven. No, that's the wrong move.
More of a shout.
You can't do that. No, the president doesn't come through here.
You do one of those.
You're a skaven. Don't be frightened, little guy. So I say, look, listen. I say to him actually, Quint. My new friend Quinn. Here's the thing, right? I reckon this thing is probably more use in our hands than it is in the Lichemaster's hands, right? So
true.
Hold
on, Lichemaster? What?
Oh,
if I heard
no, you missed this whole thing where we went. Just to catch you up very quickly, we went up into the hills. We met a massive army of skellies. A lot of dwarves died. Some farm people died. We met some nasty bird things. Then Bondo, we got split up from him because we all went in a river and we went over the edge of the river and he didn't, and he ran away off with some villagers. Hopefully he looked after them. Then we fell down a waterfall. We met Quint here, who definitely is not a skaven, wink wink. And then we got back here, right? So that's basically what happened. And yeah, the bad news is, Teddy, is you've come here at exactly the moment where just this minute, just before we came down here, it looked like there was an attack. It was brewing. So yeah, we got an issue right now, mate. We got to take care of a massive army.
To move and get out of here.
Pete, just to give you some further context, there's an instinctive part of you that has listened to the story, as compelling as it is. You can't help but wonder that he feels like it was a lot funnier than the way that he talked about it, just FYI.
It was not, yeah. I will say that, and I also hold up my ruined hand and go, I've got to say, it didn't go as well as I just explained it.
It wasn't quite as erudite and flowy as fluid as the description. So you've sort of been brought up soon. They do give you other details very quickly, but the one thing they also stress, all of them stress, is that they're very much on the clock on this one. It also sounds like, sorry.
Also, I mean, in case Teddy hasn't figured it out, like we've lost 2 of our team members, gained 2 new ones.
Yeah.
Ratigan, who's probably his only visual kind of clue at this point. Ratigan looks so much messier, like absolutely ruined right now. Raskin actually literally just looks like he is properly been living in a hedge.
He's a total scarecrow right now. He's scarecrow realness.
Yeah, like I've lost a chunk of my hand.
Yeah.
We haven't slept properly in ages. We've just come down.
He looks you look. If it's possible, Ratty looks even more fucked up than when you met him. It's like completely dishevelled. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Ratty, I got something for you, mate.
You could give him some pomade or something.
I'll give him the robe that I found.
Oh, okay, yeah,
this
cool.
makes you feel better, mate.
Okay, so he hands you this extraordinary robe. It's purple robe. It's plain. It's plain purple. But it's and you sort of go, oh, you go, oh, like that. He hands it to you, and it's beautiful. It's like a beautiful, beautiful robe. And it has this like many different pockets in it, which is very much your thing. But there's even more pockets in this robe than there is in your bathrobes that you sewed on yourself badly. And these are proper pockets. These are not like pockets that you've managed to like somehow hold together through luck and charm. These are actual real pockets on the inside. There's all this like beautiful embroidery on the inside of the robe as well. These different sigils and like markings and symbols. And it looks, if you thought the bathrobes looked wizardry, this fucking purple robe looks so goddamn wizardry. It looks amazing. It does also look like a bathrobe a little bit.
Shit. I say to him, well, you know, it's not as nice as my old one, but I guess thanks very much. Yeah, well, that's nice. I do say, but I do go. I will say though, Teddy, old friend, it is definitely my favourite colour. So back in the purple.
You say Bondo's still alive, right?
We saw him go up. We saw him. What was the last time we glimpsed him? Wasn't it not really like he was fighting shitloads?
He was basically, the last time you saw him was on the path when he called the birds to try and stop them all attacking you guys. He was so successful they attacked the refugees instead, and many more people than your party died through that act of selflessness, including some of the more major NPCs that would have helped you in this final battle.
He's a come, he's a go.
Sticky situation last time we saw him, but you know it's Bondo. I'm sure he came through just fine.
Yeah, even though there was like 1,000 fucking undead birds charging his position and killing people indiscriminately, yes, he's probably fine.
Probably fine.
Oh, Tom, one thing actually.
Putting on that robe, yeah. By the way,
you're putting the robe on.
Yeah, and I turned my green one, which I've been wearing in the meantime, because my last purple one got destroyed.
Yeah.
By the beetle.
Yeah, that's right.
Acid.
The beetle acid. Yeah.
So whenever I'm not wearing a robe, I use it as a
knapsack, don't you?
As a knapsack.
Okay. So basically, you sort of give a little whistle, which is the orders for Noodle and Mr. Spidge to move out, and they go into all your pockets.
They kind of like remove all the ingredients from the pockets and kind of line them up and kind of.
Mr. Spidge has actually got out of nowhere. Mr. Spidge has got this tiny little toothpick and has stuck it in his mouth. And is like and Noodle comes out with a mug of tea from somewhere, this tiny little mug full of tea, and sort of sips it and just rolls her eyes when Mr. Spidge squeaks at her to get back to work. And they start moving things very quickly from one robe to the other until that robe is pretty much packed out with all the ingredients. So it takes like about a minute or so. And
why do I have visions of a small sack barrow?
Yeah, a little sack barrow weaving from one to the other. And they just sort of tuck themselves into the new robe. You also hear this like very, very merry squeaks from both of them as they settle into. They find their own pockets that they prefer, and they settle into them. And there's a lot of squeals of delight as the material is very much to their liking. Also, the weirdest thing is, Tom, that this thing seems to tingle all over your body. You know when you get like two magnets and you push the magnets together? And you get that slightly odd feeling of resistance. Do you know what I mean?
Like bubbles in a hot tub.
Yeah, a little bit like that. So you get this like weird feeling of like slight vibrating shimmeriness from the robe itself. Like static electricity. It's kind of a little bit like that. It's really weird.
When I put it on, I sort of do a little like tickle wriggle.
The robe of gentle massage.
So so just it settles down the feeling after you put it on. That's a weird feeling when that happens to you. Okie dokie. So back to narrative, folks. What's the plan?
My lady Ratigan, we are wasting time here. The skeletons could already be upon us. We must decide what to do. We could take all these out to the rest of the monks, but do we trust them? I'm not sure. This is a dangerous thing, and someone is coming down to take it. And if they find a rat man, then they could open it and command this creature. Thoughts, anyone?
I'm thinking this is a lot.
I reckon it's better if we. I know it's a risky thing, Quint, my new friend, but something tells me it's better if
then you may have something to say to Master Hobbit, I think.
What have I got to do?
Just woke up. He said he was napping. He just had a snack and he was like, "Oh,
I'm just chatting to Ratty, and then was like, what's going on?
You know this man, this halfling, and I think it would be better coming from a friend of his to measure his reaction."
Just very quickly, Teddy, are you wearing the ring?
No, I've just got it in my pouch at the moment. I'm not wearing it.
Okay.
I have no idea what it does yet.
All right, cool. Oh, folks, by the way, check your messages periodically because I will be sending you individual messages just for you lot. So
yeah, I think I'm up to date here, Neil.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool.
Alrighty.
So Tom, it's I think what effectively Quint is saying is that he doesn't know this halfling. The knowledge bomb that you're about to drop on him is probably best coming from a friend than from a complete stranger. So you might have to actually. You may have to do the big reveal, sir!
Ta-da! He's a fucking skaven. Yeah. Pete and Blue, anything else that you want to do at all?
Well, I guess it's... So I've got this ring, right?
Yeah.
So this, from what you're saying, this lets me move the armour.
Okay, are you holding the ring still, or are you putting it on a ring?
Well, yeah, I'm still holding it.
So I'm going to start. Okay, so you start thinking about that, and as you do that, the armour just goes... Everybody please make an initiative test.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
They did say they could move it backward and forward, didn't they? But that was about it.
Yeah. 0 8,
yeah,
that's a pass. Yeah.
Who's rolling next?
I sorry, I went.
17, that's a pass. Yeah.
Okay.
And somebody can roll for Tom. I think he's just bring the cat out.
What did I miss?
Nothing. Initiative test. The armor has just suddenly lurched forward out of nowhere.
Oh.
Yeah.
So very much a pass, Mr. Neal.
Okay, cool. And Tom, you're the last to go. So everybody is like startled, but nobody is surprised by this thing. Okay.
I think I'm gonna be.
No, you're fine as well. So this thing lurches forward, and you're all staring at the armor as it does so. So it's like surprising, but you're not surprised. You're not like freaked out, and it just goes and just stops right next to Teddy, and just stands there. And there's a little bit of sort of like tiny bit of smoke coming out of it, but he's just standing there, very much animated, suddenly out of nowhere. And Teddy, you're still holding on to this ring, although you've sort of leapt back into
Did I do that?
You've leapt back into a more quote-unquote tactical position, sir, behind the dog.
Cowering tactically.
Yeah, cowering tactically. You literally did like a barrel roll over the dog. Yeah, so then you pipe up, did I do that? Okay.
Master Halfling, the note does say that it can be moved forward and backwards, so I assume so, yes.
Great, I'm going to have a lot of fun now with it. Get it moving forward and backward, Neil. Teaching it to moonwalk.
Okay, you're going to teach it to moonwalk. All right, so you can now control this thing. This thing is very much animated. Apparently the ring commands it, but it's limited in its motions. We're still on the subject of what to do about Quint and his dirty little secret with Teddy. Or do you lot want to try and get the fuck out of here? Because you've been down here a long time now.
I think, are we still blinded?
What happened when I whispered to Quint about him being...
Well, Teddy then accidentally activated the automaton, so that sort of broke the moment, but that's still hanging over you. So and yes, you're all feeling still queasy, but it's not smelly anymore. So the smell's gone.
Thank God. So I sort of sidebar with Quinn, and I go, "All right, well, look, why don't we just actually would tell everyone, why don't we just take it? We'll take it upstairs, and then we can talk it out with the priests up there. That might, maybe they'll have opinions on all this as well."
As you wish, Master Ratigan, but I will not touch that box unless we are in dire need.
It won't matter, will it? Because you're a human, disgusting human being, aren't you? Wink,
Precisely.
Wink. All right, then. Let's go. Let's go. I reckon we should go back upstairs then and see what's going on.
Would the halfling and his monstrosity like to go first?
I think that would be a good way to make an entrance, so why not?
Ta-da! Look who we found! Yeah, okay. Okay, cool. So you do so. You sort of make your way relatively easily with a lot of ching, 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 as this sort of Robocop-like a suit of armor.
Nice.
Is just like following Teddy. Teddy occasionally lets out these little giggles of delight, and then just tells it occasionally to so he starts doing these weird things like telling it to walk backwards and then putting left foot and right foot in these weird positions. He tells it to pretty much spin around at one point. It's a bit weird, but anyway, Teddy seems to be having fun, so he's having great time.
Speaking of Robocop, can it do stairs?
Yes, it can, but very slowly, and it's very tiresome. You spend about 15 minutes just trying to get it through up the flight of stairs at the end of the chapel, of the catacombs. You're also acutely aware, everybody, including you, Teddy, although you have seen it on the way in, you're acutely aware more than you were perhaps before of the large number of coffins and dead skeletons of remains of previous monks and people of the village that are buried in this chamber. It's a little disconcerting, but yes, just to remind you of all, there must be a good 100 or so, maybe 200 bodies or in various states of decomposition and tombs and things inside the crypt. Just FYI. You make
That's generally what crypts are for, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Master Halfling, do you see an enemy within here? We are up against a necromancer. He has all the material for an army in this crypt.
So let's get moving and get out of here quicker.
I think at the very first thing we do is massively bar that door to the crypt.
Okay, you do that. I'm moving.
I reckon Quint has just had a very good idea. I was just working on that one myself, but he got there first. Well done, Quint. Nice one.
We need spikes and battening. We need to push something against this and the far wall. We need to keep that door shut as long as possible.
Okay, you get to the top of the stairs. You do all remember that the top of the stairs has a rudimentary, iron grate that goes. It's like an iron door, but with like a gate door, right? Like a prison door or something.
Yeah.
And it's like rudimentary, but it is lockable. Although it hasn't been locked, obviously, in a very long time. Because what's the point? But it's just to the entrance of the stairwell, which is the only way into the crypt, just here. And it's like that. So you can see through it, but you can lock it. So obviously there is a lock to it. You haven't got the key, but presumably one of the monks will have. Just to refresh everybody's memory, this is over here with the dudes waving. This is Jean-Louis' private quarters. There are various rooms that a lot of refugees are finding in. There's a lot of refugees in the main hall here. There's like a kitchen pantry, and there's lots of monks running to and fro. As you enter the concourse here and come out and sort of fan out a little bit, a couple of the monks sort of like screech in horror as they see this metal man coming up the stairs like choo-choom, choo-choom, choo-choom. And the noise is so much that a lot of people start coming through to see what's going on, including Jean-Louis. As you're sort of turning about to speak to him, you hear this, "Oh my god, is that Teddy Wheatpasture? How the bloody hell are you, little man?" Because I thought you were supposed to be dead.
I hoped you were.
You notice that there's something different about Wavy, and also Dr. Dasher's with him. There's something different about Dr. Dasher. They seem to be holding hands. And they just come towards you, this like huge, and they give you this massive bear hug. Both of them, they step back,
sense.
and they're just sort of like just holding hands and being really happy, really, more than else. Although Dr. Dasher looks exhausted, he looks like he's covered also in blood, and he looks like he's been like a butcher's apron, and he looks like he's really been doing his, he's a doctor, obviously. So whatever's happened here looks bloody and violent, but he looks happy to see you, nonetheless.
It was such a sweet moment that you just totally destroyed there.
Me?
They're young and in love, but also one of them is covered in blood.
Dude, it's a grim world of perilous adventure. Love has its place, but come on. Yeah, so they very much look like a couple, which is news to you, which is pleasant news to you.
Vagabond Chronicles' hottest couple.
They are the hottest couple. Yeah. And very capable too. Which is interesting because the last time you remember, Dash, obviously last time you spoke to him, you found out that he's a were-rabbit, which is interesting. And Davey, you actually met only before you departed. So it's kind of nice that they seem to remember you. Because you don't really know them that well. You spent like about maybe a day or two with them, a couple of days with them, maybe on the trail to the trail up to Wavy Davey you don't know very well. Dr. Dash you've known for a while since Sinterklaas's camp, obviously.
Yeah. We met Davey at the.
You met Davey at the pub with the werewolves and everything.
Pub, yeah.
But that's where you found out Dr. Dash was actually a were-rabbit. He's a vegetarian, which is kind of okay, I guess. So yeah, but they look like a couple now, which is very sweet. So they give you a big hug and goes, "Oh, so how you doing, little man? I thought you were supposed to be dead."
Oh, I got better, thanks to some no good nicks.
Dashu gets his little hip pouch out and sort of takes a couple of swigs and goes, "Yes, from a medical position, this should be quite an interesting tale. However, now is not the time. Listen, darling, I've got to go back. I'm afraid that old geezer's not going to last too long. Look after yourself." And gives him a kiss on the cheek and then stops, turns around, and then comes back again and gives him a proper kiss. He goes, "Sorry, darling," and then just walks off and with a little kink in his step. And Dash just sort of blushes a little bit. Dash is blushing a little bit because the show of affection is not really him, but takes the right kind of guy, I guess. So Davey just sort of stands and looks at everybody like, "So, what's next, chaps? What the fuck is that?" And he just points behind him, and he's pointing at Quint. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. You burnt horribly. No, what the fuck is that?" And then he points at this huge, massive metal man that's also come up behind Teddy, and is just standing there. He goes, "Holy shit!" and sort of steps back.
This is Ziggy Part 2.
Okay. You see Jean-Louis coming out, going, "Mes amis, Blue, what are you doing? So I didn't ask you, Blue. What are you up to?
No, I'm just observing.
Just watching, going.
Sorry, I'm fascinated by the suit, though.
Yeah, the suit's pretty cool. Are you wondering what alternative reality Blue is doing? Sorry, Del is doing.
I would love to know how much better half is doing. I can't wait to hear this.
So, folks, basically, there was a twist of fate. So, in another universe, Del did not meet the Vagabonds. Del met another party, which turned out to be the Saviours of the World. And currently, Del ascended to godhood. It was the last thing that happened. Mm-hmm. And she then took the form. She's now travelling between planes of existence and is currently on our Earth, solving world hunger, climate change, and getting rid of all right-wing politicians. So that's what she's doing right now, living her best life.
Right.
Oh,
no, good for her.
Your Del is covered in cobwebs and blood.
Why aren't you doing that, Del? You absolute failure.
Yeah, Del.
On the one hand, you might be unhappy that you ended up with us, but on the other hand, we wish that we had God Del.
Pull your finger out, Del.
I wish I I am daydreaming hard right now.
Daydreaming hard. You sort of go, yeah. Okay, so Jean-Louis sort of comes out and goes, "Mes amis, you have," and he just stops and he sees you, Del, and what's on your back. He goes, "Mon Dieu, oh my goodness, I thought it was a myth, the Ark Celtica. De Muscadet spoke of it once, a rare and dangerous thing. I never really believed it existed. I had no idea. You must come with me. Take it out of sight." He sort of rushes back into his office and sort of asks you all to pile in there, basically.
Okay. Can I quickly have a very, very quick chat with him?
Well, yeah, you can in his office. He's inviting you all into his office to chat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you can all go in. Right. He basically stops and goes, "What?" Okay, and he comes in and out of his office a few times. You try and call him back and decide to speak to him in his office.
Cool.
I'm gonna ask Teddy. You're gonna at some point. I'd love it if Teddy figures out that he can actually climb up onto the shoulders
and ride
doing that, yeah.
A very obvious mount situation here that we're not exploring.
Amazing.
Yes, that's a great idea, Tom.
Wow.
But not just yet. Let's make sure we've got some control of it first.
All right, cool. So what do you want to do, folks?
So we're going into the office.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like we need a little summit here about. We send us into a pit, into a crypt, and we find some severely powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Some of which is so creepy that our secret Skaven man pooped himself.
Squirted the musketeer, thank you. Not 6-1. Squirted the musketeer. It's a little different. Mechanics are similar.
He pooped himself.
Pack of ratists.
So it does feel like we needed summit time, basically.
Yeah, okay, cool. So you all pile in, you sort of shut the double doors behind you, and you sort of stand there. Blue, what are you going to do with the box?
I place it very gently down on the floor.
Yeah.
And I take 2 steps back.
Yes, from you notice that where you've been holding the box, your back is incredibly warm. And as you step back and put the box down, your back is still incredibly warm and sort of like tingling a little bit.
Is this thing nuclear?
Maybe.
Might as well be.
Let's circle back to your character in about 20 to 30 years. Okay, so... All right.
It's the 4-armed elf.
All right, so, Jean-Louis sort of goes, thank you, mes amis. There must have been some journals or notes with the box. I presume Muscadet was a very meticulous academic. He would have left some kind of note or instructions with it. Did you find anything?
I think I gave the note back to Teddy, so that's on Teddy.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this, mate.
Okay, he picks it up and sort of reads it, and then he goes, I see. Ah, yes, it is the Arca Chaotis. What does it say here? Ratman.
And it is indestructible.
Yes, and still much to do. We have little time. According to these notes, the Muscadet never... He goes...
Can I just ask him? Sorry to butt in.
Yeah.
What was the reason you wanted us to get it for you exactly?
So he sort of looks at you and goes, He's about to launch into his pre-recorded speech. So he goes, according to these, I was thinking that maybe this could turn the tide of the oncoming battle. And he sort of looks at the door and looks back at you and goes, it is of course no great secret, and I'm sure you have all observed, being hardened adventurers yourselves, that we are greatly outnumbered here. And the hope of survival, is not good.
So what is it?
Speaking of... do you mind? Sorry.
Well, you go ahead. You go ahead, Quint. I'm just puzzling this one out, but I got another question in a minute. Go on.
Speaking of being outnumbered, Master Monk, you have a necromancer fast approaching and hundreds of potential soldiers for him in your crypt. Might we bar the door properly, please?
Yes, of course. Yes, a good idea. I shall get on that immediately.
Going back to this old creepy box situation. So what does it actually do? What happens if it opens? Why did you say you wanted it because you thought it might help, but how is it going to help?
Well, he starts going, that is what I was trying to explain to you. According to these notes, the Muscadet never managed to harness the power of the warpstone in this casket, and it is the only way to fully activate the Iron Man in front of us. It has its powers of its own, which also may save us, but we have no idea how to make it work. He paces for a few moments. Skaven,
Will we...
hang on a sec, he carries on. He goes, didn't you tell me of your run-in with some Skaven a few weeks ago? Maybe if we could find them, maybe they could I don't know about helping. Their movements, they appear to be maybe unaware of the undead. Indeed, maybe they were spotted coming towards for this very reason, to reclaim the box. The timing of the appearance is a work of chaos, or Tal working through their animal part to help us. I do not know, but maybe if we could find them, there's a chance we might be able to get this casket back, and, let us hope how one of them knows, a Skaven would know how to use this if we could find one. At this time of the hour, in La Maison Tal.
Master Monk, I do believe Tal does work in very strange ways.
I want to 10% your accent up more ratty, because I think you lost the rattiness, mate. Come on.
Come on, Ken. Sorry.
Easy.
Master Monk, is that better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this pleases the monks.
I like it when you sound extra ratty.
This pleases the master of La Maison Tal.
Master Monk, it does not. I am not happy to do this, but as we appear that we will all die here if a solution is not found, I have something here I need to show you. I take down my hood.
Yeah.
I take off my skaven necklace, and I place it on the table next to the chest.
He goes, Mon Dieu, he steps back.
I am the
and he immediately pulls
rat
a weapon.
you seek.
He immediately pulls a weapon out, like a little dagger, like a silver dagger, and he puts it up in a sort of fighting position. He goes, Mon Dieu. And then he says something in Bretonnian that none of you understand. And he sort of like says this thing, he's trembling looking at you. And he speaks very slowly again. Storm vermin. The elite guard. Mon Dieu, my friends, what demon are you keeping in your company? And he's sort of standing there trembling with a dagger.
I fall to one knee. Storm vermin I am, sir, but I am also a servant of the lady and now of Tal.
Okay, do you have anything like a relic of the lady or like a symbol of her or anything like that on you?
I have, the character, Blue's character. She literally is it.
No, I mean, do you have like a piece of memorabilia that the knight would have given you? This is like flavor item. Like, the knight, when the knight died, the prisoner died in your custody.
I have the human doll, but on a back scratcher, but that's about it. That's what you gave
Not
me.
quite what I'm reaching for. That's okay. You don't have anything. Fine. You don't have anything that is a symbol of the Lady of the Lake. Okay. It's going to be a straight cool test unless anybody else wants to intervene on his behalf.
I want to intervene.
Yeah.
I would say, see if I can do this and word it correctly, but you just hold on just a fucking moment. You just said you wanted us to find a skaven to help us to open up this chest. You needed a skaven to help you to help win this battle, and by that act, that would be a hero for you to help your people. And here we have one who is willing to make that sacrifice, and you draw a weapon? What is wrong with you?
Wow. Okay, I'm going to give you plus 20 for like that completely like putting him in his place speech. It was kick-assery. So make a leadership test plus 20 because you're intimidating the fuck out of him.
Okay, hang on. What's my leadership? My leadership is 32.
So that's 52. I'm going to give you plus 30 because even I'm slightly nervous and scared around.
I have tears in my eyes. That was fantastic.
That was amazing. Yeah, plus 30.
Yeah, that was
73.
Oh, come on!
I'm gonna throw you a bone, Blue. And you know what? I tell you what. Let's ignore. Let's just throw these dice away because that was so good. I don't want to. I feel bad for making you roll even. So ignore the roll. Fuck the roll. It was really good role playing. So fuck it. It was totally heartfelt. He immediately sort of like lowers the blade. He looks at you and goes, "Mes amis, please forgive me. I'm ashamed of my behavior. It was just surprising to see that symbol, a symbol that I have known in my past and have feared of seeing again so close to me. Master," he looks like searches for the word, "Quint, please accept my humble apology. Lady Dell, again, I must apologize to you too. You are quite right. It is hypocritical of me to say one thing on one paw." He goes, one hand, and not on the other hand. Paw, hands. And he just sort of like says that. He goes, "Of course, we will accept your help. Now, there are preparations to be made. We have this box. We have Skaven amongst us now, a friendly Skaven at that, mon Dieu. And we have this mechanical man. And we have you, of course, and some of the survivors from the Frugelhofen massacre. And we have the dwarves who are helping us with our preparations. If anything you can do to help us shore up our defenses for the inevitable battle, and perhaps even if you have any expertise, draw up some kind of plan. We have spotted the undead. Our scouts are been racing back with news. They are potentially a day away. For some reason, they halted their march down and regrouped. One would think perhaps it is something to do with the nature of how they are called. But we have bought ourselves an extra 24 hours, perhaps. you have that time, of course, to heal, rest, and prepare anything you need. Our blacksmith is at your disposal, as is our carpenters and the workers of the villages, and anything we have in our stores is yours if you wish. Please, take the time, use it wisely, and if there's anything you need, please ask me.
I ask one more thing. I ask one more thing. I need him to tell all of his soldiers, all of his people, that we will be around to treat Quint as equally as any of us, and that he is not to be harmed or intimidated or anything like that.
Can we just keep this quiet, please?
Or that, whatever Quint likes.
Whatever. I love the way that you're somehow now accidentally patronizing the rat. Whatever Quint wants to happen, you should do that. And then just telling you what you should do. No, it's cool.
Woke up today and went, today Quint is my king. Quint is just a cool rat.
So, Jean-Louis immediately, obviously accepting it, of course. I will not be telling anybody, of course, this could be very difficult. Dynamite situation, pardon the lack of taste on that one. But yes, we should keep this under our hats. But he will be treated with the utmost respect. I will ensure that personally. And again, Monsieur Quint, please accept my humble apologies. He also pushes with his dagger your storm vermin necklace. It's like it's basically like dog tags, and pushes it back towards you. And you sort of scoop it up and put it back on.
So what? How long do you reckon we've got before?
Damon.
You just said it, man, right in front of you. What do you need, subtitles?
24 hours.
No, dude, you're keeping Ratty alive and well in roleplay, man. It's fine. How long we got?
6 minutes.
Let's go and do things then.
Okay. One thing I think we need to know. I don't think we should leave it to the last minute. Now that all the cards are on the table, to actually work out how to make this metal man work. So what we are going to need for starters is a big room, me at one end of it with the warp stone, and anything else which can be mutated, like all the other soft little humans in the room, at the other end of the room.
Stack them around the Iron Man, you say? Okay, yeah, sure. Actually, it occurs to you, Quint, that the best place to do this would be outside, and not in a room where anything could explode. And probably in a space area. I mean, we can go into narrative right now because I feel like we probably should at this point. So, to basically, if you folks want to come over here, I've drawn a very rudimentary map of La Maison Town. The outer ring is its outside palisade, which is far too wide to properly defend against an army. This is to stop out marauding animals or small tiny war bands of beastmen and stuff like that, because it's pretty high. It's not going to be able to be manned, it's too big. Inside of which is the kind of rough village with all these little buildings around, and right in the centre here is La Maison Town, and you're actually where this white dot is over here currently in Jean-Louis' room. So this is La Maison Town. There is a smaller palisade around this, and the river is actually here that goes straight through the centre. It goes underneath underneath the La Maison Town, and they have a well system to bring water up directly from it. So if you could fortify it, you could last here, indefinitely, essentially, in a way. But it's just not as strong as a castle or a fort or anything like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which direction will our assailants be coming from, Neil?
You don't know. I mean,
okay, so not from the mountains, from the.
Oh, sorry. I see what you mean. Yes, they'll definitely be coming from that direction. I can show you. However, they can easily fan out around the whole of the settlement. They're coming from this direction, which is where the waterfall comes from. Right. But they could essentially just march around the entire thing and attack you from any direction.
So we can get encircled, absolutely.
Yeah, you can totally get.
Why are we not heading in this direction as a group and running for the hills?
Good point, coward.
Spoken like a true rogue, i.e. coward.
What's in it for us hanging around here right now?
I mean, Teddy, if you want to leave, I'd love. Let's see what happens. We got 24 hours. You could just slip out.
I need to take this mechanical man with me.
Wasn't it just the chest?
Well,
Yeah,
I kind of need everything.
What was the can I inquire what the deal of the contract was? Was it the chest? Was it the ring and the mechanical man? Was it everything, or was it just the chest? Or
30%
you
more
know,
rat.
what they got over you?
30% more rat. Come on, Ratty.
Look, I was told to bring. I'd know it when I see it, and I'm pretty sure it's everything.
Right. So very quickly, folks.
Hang on now. We've got to finish role-playing this.
Okay.
Okay.
Creating a monster. Okay.
This is a big character moment.
Yeah, it is a big character moment. You're right.
So I'm going to turn to Teddy, and I'll say, Teddy, my dear sweet little boy Teddy, I know we left you down a crevasse. We thought you were dead, and we were heartbroken by that. And also, we had to keep running away anyway because some blokes were chasing us. And then,
so we couldn't look over. We couldn't casually look over the side.
And then I'll admit we forgot about you for a while. While we went into some out, but we thought you were dead. But you're here now again, and you're a vagabond. You were always one of us. Probably not the best of us, although you are the fastest of us. So that's something. But could you not maybe stick this one out with us? You know, we've had some good times together. We've had some terrible times together. But I'll tell you, the times were always better when you were here with us.
Right. What are you doing to me? Tugging at my heartstrings.
I thought you were going to go proper Phil Mitchell there for a second.
I guess it's better to die with you, my friends, than those assholes in Gruyere. Come on then, you convinced me for now.
I'll tell you what, if you stick with us, we'll help you out with the Gruyere problem. How's about that?
Master Halfling, if it is escape you seek, then plan our escape. We will need to leave here at some point.
Yeah, it's run that way.
If that interests you most, then find the supplies to make sure we have there isn't a route, not only for us, but for everybody, should it come to that.
Well,
plate your skills.
You sneaky tactical bastard. I love it.
Very, very sneaky.
Yes,
I'm a rat.
We finally met a vagabond who's competent.
It feels weird. It feels weird, man. Weird and straight. You should kill him. It feels weird. Kill him. Sorry, that was the internal voices in your heads. All right.
Gents, I need to drop now, but please carry on.
No problem, Pete. We'll catch up with you
offline
soon, and also looking forward to the second part of your special, which is next Saturday. So looking forward to it.
Amazing.
See you, Pete. Take it easy, mate.
See you guys. Speak to you later. Bye.
Did that fulfill your heartfelt moment? Tommy's just left.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to have to pick up that conversation later. But in the meantime, just to sort of wrap things up a little bit, the undead are 24 hours away. You can make I'd like to make some very quick ideas of purchases and things. We're also going to give you some XP as well, because it has been a minute. I think you come through quite a big journey. Ratty's starting an emotional journey, which I think all of us are excited to see its fulfillment, if the insensitive bastard that is Pete hadn't just left. So, I'm going to give you all, I think it's been a while, it's been a minute, I'm going to give you all 250 experience. Let's make it 300, why not? For good role playing. So 300 experience to catch you up from where you've been. If there is anything specific you'd like, in fact, actually, we've kind of run out of time for this one. So I think maybe you can all write down things that you want, send me some messages, and let me know for next time how you're going to prepare La Maison Tal for the onslaught of this unstoppable undead army.
You said the title of the episode. Well done. I was about to point out one of the issues with naming an episode before you actually know what was going to happen in it. But we called this episode Onslaught.
I ain't just evil as a GM. I'm also reasonably clever.
Even the snakes couldn't be bothered to be an Onslaught. They just talked politics and had sex with a rogue.
But, somehow I managed to shoehorn it into the episode, Tom. Be pleased. All right, so the onslaught is imminent, folks. However, we're going to start next episode apparently by shopping. So there you go. Unless, of course, you all have a bit of time, we can carry on, but I suspect it's probably pushing it a little bit tonight. How are you all feeling, folks?
I'm
Can
excited.
you hear me?
Hi, Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're back.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, my mic was broken. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool, no worries. So we can just wrap up things and sort of do a bit of shopping now if you want. But this will pretty much be the end of the episode, folks.
I think we should sort of start it the next episode as a kind of...
I think so too.
Preparation.
All right.
I've got a lot of things to collate here.
So if anybody wants to like leave this scene with like an ominous thing or sentence or something that we can tie up the episode nicely, please save us.
I think we, if we were to end this episode as like a TV episode, we'd be ending it as a close-up on Teddy's undecided face as he decides whether he's going to stick with us.
This I can do. So slowly coming in, and Tom, can you just like fudge repeat some of the last words you said to him so I can do that for the audience?
Say some of the last words that I said.
Yeah. Just fudge it and just say roughly what you're saying.
I know we dropped you down a crevasse, but you're a vagabond, and it's once a vagabond, always a vagabond. Isn't that right? Well, I don't know. I could just.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. And then Teddy sort of like slowly looking towards camera, and then turning to you and goes, And then we just cut hard to black. Dum 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 dum. All right, folks. So yes, it's a strangely narrative episode, but quite fun. I enjoyed that. It's usually let's take it as the calm before the storm moment, shall we not?
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. So next time on the Vagabonds, all hell's going to break loose, and I may even kill a couple of them. Yeah, let's see how that goes. They're pretty wily though, aren't they, folks? They've managed to avoid it so far. Sad Neil's only had a couple of fate points, and he's pretty hungry. I mean, look at him. Look how sad he is. He's unhappy. His tummy's rumbling.
Can we just buy him a catapult?
All right, folks. I think for some sterling role-playing, I think the turn to flip the table surely must be Blue Owl's medic. That was an rousing speech.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
He earned the right.
Yeah.
So yay! There it goes, folks. Thanks very much to the mods. Thanks to the chat, and thank you as always, Vagabonds. Take it easy, folks. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.